Hello students, in this video we will discuss and learn about one of the most important source for every business to run in the market for a long period, that is capital. Capital is not the asset or the source of the company. It can be treated as lifeblood of business. Without the capital, no company can run or survive in the market. How the human beings will not survive without blood in the human bodies. Similarly, without capital in the business, no business can survive in the market. So, capital plays a very significant role in the business to conduct any activity or operation, to produce the product or to procure the machinery, technology, human manpower, or any asset or operations. We need for any of these we require capital. So capital is the term for financial assets, such as funds may be held from the fixed deposits or the funds obtained from the various resources like equity shares or preference shares or the debentures or financial institutions or the creditors or any form. So here let us see what is the definition of capital. Capital defined as money or money's worth. So here capital means money or money's worth. It is not only the money but it is also money's worth. Let us take an example. Mr. A in the market who has a certain amount, for example 1000 rupees in his hand, but no ideas to start the business. But the same area there is one another person called B, doesn't have money, no money, but has ideas. So here respect to A, 1000 rupees is a capital. Respect to B, ideas or the capital to the company. Idea is the capital to the company. When these two people come together in order to start a business, then automatically A will provide the cash in terms of capital, B is provide ideas in terms of capital to the business to initiate or to promote the business. So in this case 1000 rupees is a money called capital. In this case idea is a capital, that is worth of money is also called a capital. So defined, capital defined as money or money's worth. So money's worth not only in terms of ideas, also in terms of assets. Assets in terms of land, buildings, machinery, plant, and other fixed assets or the tangible assets. These are also called as capital in any business. Not only the cash or the liquid asset, but also the fixed assets or the tangible assets are also comes under the capital in any business. So capital can be held through the financial assets or raised from the debt or equity financing to the business. And business will typically focus on three types of sources of finance, that is working capital, equity capital, and debentures. So working capital, debenture capital, and equity capital, these three forms of capitals are very important in any business. Working capital, equity capital or share capital, or debentures. So working capital is the capital which is used by the business to run the day-to-day activities or conduct the day-to-day activities of the business. And share capital is a capital which is used to purchase or procure the fixed assets to the business or to pay the long-term financial loans in the business, where debentures also used to purchase the fixed assets, and sometimes these debentures are used to repay the other financial requirements, or used to um, satisfy other financial requirements of the business. So about this working capital, share capital and debentures we will discuss in the methods and sources of finance very clearly. Now, business capital is used to provide ongoing production. So without capital, there is no continuity in the business in the market. That is in terms of goods or in terms of services. So companies use capital to invest in all kinds of things for the purpose of creating the value of the firm, and it forms the base for any business. So capital is the base for any business. Of course, you have an idea, you have a knowledge, you have some other forms of assets, but capital is one of the important factor that is used as a base for any business to promote. Capital in general does not mean, as I said, that is not only the money, but money is what in terms of assets. So creativity, innovation, new ideas also can be described as one form of capital in any business. Some people have some ideas, but they may not have money. But here there are some other people who have only money, but doesn't have the ideas and creativity and innovation. So in such cases, these people come together in order to start the business. The ideal combination of these two people, today there are different sources of rising finance for many types of businesses. So earlier in olden days, due to lack of sources, due to lack of availability of capital, or due to any other form of capital, lack of any other form of capital, so the business were closed. But nowadays, today at present scenario, there is no such problem. There are various sources are there for businesses to raise the capital, to procure the capital, to pool the capital, borrow the money from various financial institutions. Or many ways are there to run the business in the market for a long time. So there are many examples in where the business is closed due to lack of capital, only due to lack of the capital. So capital is plays that much significant role in any business. Without capital, there is no business. As I said, it is treated as a lifeblood of any business in the market. So different people can imagine the capital in different ways. For example, according to the economist view, capital can be viewed as total value of the assets. Total value of the assets. Example, plant, machinery, and other fixed assets of the company. According to economist point of view, the total value of the assets is known as capital. But whereas accountant's point of view, the difference between assets and liabilities is known as capital. The difference between assets and liabilities. So different people can view in different ways the capital in the business. So the capital can play very important in terms of assets, also in terms of repaying the liabilities of the business. Now let us see the significance of capital. So capital plays a very significant role in the modern production system. It is very difficult to imagine the process of production without capital. See, any advanced technology or the machinery or any kind of resources you want to purchase, you require huge capital in the business. To improve the quality, to increase the quantity, to increase any feature of the production or service, the business required the different technologies or the machinery in advance. So to procure these advanced technology or the machinery, we require the capital. So without those technologies and machinery, you may not produce the products or services in quality or quantity. So that much importance is there for the capital in any business at a present scenario. And it creates, capital creates and enhances the level of employment opportunities in the business. How the capital is increasing, the business operations or the activities will also increase. Therefore, the employment opportunities will also increase in any business in order to provide employment opportunities for the people in the society. It means that indirectly capital also creating employment opportunities to the people in the society who are eligible for that, and it enhances the quality of the products and enhances the business operations in order to expand the business operations in many areas. It is a strategic role in enhancing the productivity. So capital is necessary not only for the micro enterprises but also to the government organizations also. So the government organizations are not exempted from this, because it also, or government organizations also will provide the products and services only by using the capital. So it is a scarce resource, and even country has to utilize these scarce resources and effectively and efficiently. Now let us see the need and the requirement of capital in the business. These are the different areas where the capital is required to satisfy in any business. Means right from promoting the business or initiating the business operations till winding up the business or close the business, the capital is required in many areas or in many stages. Let us see what are the different areas, such as to promote the business, to conduct business activities smoothly, to expand and diversify, to meet contingencies, to pay taxes, to pay dividends and interest, to replace the assets, to support welfare programs, and to wind up. These are the major or some of the areas where the capital is required to uh, use in order to satisfy in the business. The first one is to promote the business. Yes, the capital is very important or plays a very significant role in promoting the business. It is required at the promotional stage. A large variety of expenses have to be incurred on project reports, feasibility studies and reports, preparation and filing of various documents, and for meeting various other expenses in connection with the raising of capital from the public. If you want to issue the shares, we need to prepare some documents. If you want to issue the debentures, you need to prepare some documents. Even if you want to start the company, you need to submit some documents to the government. So promoting the business in the market is a long process, but each and every step of the stage the capital is required. So the capital is playing a very significant role in promoting the business in the market. The second one is to conduct business activities smoothly. Without capital, without a worth of capital, there is no business operations in the market. So business firms also need capital for the purpose of conducting the various business activities or operations, like research and development, advertising, sales promotion, distribution and operating expenses, and so on. So they are the various business activities which are required capital very much in order to conduct very smoothly. Without capital, these may not be conducted, may not possible to conduct in the business, and which are very important to business to conduct. The next one is to expand and diversify. Yes, like promoting the business in the market, expanding And diversifying the business operations in the market is also very important, where the capital plays a very significant role. The firm requires a lot of capital for expansion and diversification of business operations in the market. This includes development expenses like purchase of sophisticated machinery, advanced technology, equipment, and also payment towards sophisticated other sources like skilled manpower, advanced technology, advanced machinery, and others which are very qualitative. So to procure and acquire these qualitative technology and machinery, we require to incur huge capital to expand and diversify our business operations in the market. This is also very important area where the capital is playing significant role. The next one is to meet contingencies. Contingencies means unexpected expenses incurred by the business due to some reasons or due to any reasons. If unexpectedly the business need to incur capital or the money, then the capital will use to satisfy these contingencies. Or a firm needs funds to meet the contingencies like a sudden fall in the sales. There is a demand for our product, but we need to expand. Major litigations like legal cases, you need to use this capital to fight with other parties. And natural calamities like fire accidents, earthquakes, floods, theft, and whatever the calamity it is, we need to overcome all these problems by using the capital only. So capital is also used to meet the contingencies or the unexpected expenses to be incurred in the business. The next one is to pay taxes. At the end of every accounting period or periodically, the firm has to meet statutory commitments such as income tax and sales tax or excise duties and so on. So this amount will paid to the government in terms of money, that is also the part of capital. So capital is also used to pay the taxes in order to satisfy statutory commitments. The next one is to pay the dividends and interest. So to initiate or start the business people, the owners of this business will procure or pool the capital from the various sources, like by issuing the shares, that is preference shares, by issuing the debentures, and taking the loans from the financial institutions and so on. So at the end of every accounting period, the business people need to pay the dividends at certain rate and the interest to the debenture holders at certain rate. So these interest and dividends paying to the banks or the financial institutions and the shareholders in the market from the capital only. So the dividends will be paid to the preference shareholders and the interest will pay to the financial institutions or the debenture holders. These dividends and interest will pay from the capital only at the end of every accounting period. The next one is to replace the assets. Yes. Here periodically, frequently, the assets of the business may replace with the new one. So the business needs to replace these assets like plant and machinery, technology, and other equipments which are used by the business since long back, or these assets are not possible to use in the future. In such cases, the business need to replace these assets with the new one. So to procure the new assets or the new machinery or new technology, to replace the existing one, we require the capital. So capital is also playing an important role in replacing the assets of the company, that is existing assets of the company with the new one. Next one is to support welfare programs. Yes, the company, this is also one of the social responsibility of any business. Business has to conduct various social welfare programs like health camps and providing some books, providing some clothes to the rural areas. This is one of the social responsibility of any business. To satisfy these activities or operations, a business needs some amount or the capital. That is also part of the capital. And next one is at the time of winding up the business. So capital is also required not only to promote the business, also to wind up the business. At the time of winding up the business, you need to clear or satisfy all the shareholders and debenture holders, to clear the dues, to clear the dividends, to clear the interest. Sometimes even you need to repay the amount that they have invested in the business. So in such case or at that time, you need capital to clear all the dues in order to wind up. Or at the time of winding up, the company may need funds to meet the liquidation of expenses. Now let us see different types of capital available or required for the business. Based on the requirement of the business, the capital is classified into two, that is fixed capital and working capital. So fixed capital is the capital which is used to purchase the fixed assets, acquire the fixed assets, or satisfy the long-term requirements in the business is known as a fixed capital. Examples of fixed capital in the business are land, buildings, machinery, equipments, technology, and other assets which will give the services to the company for a long period is known as a fixed capital. So fixed capital is treated as a skeleton to the business, because if there is no fixed cost, if there is no fixed capital in the business, business may not be there in the market, because to promote the business, to expand the business, to do anything which requires huge capital, the fixed capital is plays a very significant role in the business. So fixed capital means it is a capital which is required to purchase or the fixed assets of the business. Now let us see what are the different features of these fixed capital, that is such as permanent in nature. The fixed capital is permanent in nature in terms of assets like land, machinery, equipments, technology, vehicles, computers, and in another forms, which cannot be converted into another form within short period. Unlike working capital is known as the fixed capital, it cannot be converted into another form. And the next one is profit generation. Yes, fixed capital used to generate the profits. It does not mean that assets directly or themselves generate the profits, but these assets are used to generate the profits in the business in order to expand, in order to explore the business activities, to run in the market for a long period successfully. Next, low liquidity. It means that once the fixed assets has been purchased by the business using the fixed capital, cannot be sold in the market within short period. So this asset cannot be sold, or assets cannot be replaced with the new one unless it is got repairs. If there is no problems with the fixed assets purchased by the business using the fixed capital, there is no changes in fixed assets. It means that a long period, the fixed assets will be continued in the business. That is called as low liquidity. It cannot be liquidated. Next, amount of fixed capital. The size of the activity or operations, or the nature of the operation, nature of the activity changes the amount of fixed capital. If you want to purchase advanced technology, we require more capital. We require normal moderate technology, we require less capital compared to the advanced technology, and so on. So based on the nature and the size of operation or activity, the size of the fixed capital or the amount of capital, amount of fixed capital is required. And the next one is utilized for promotion and expansion. So the fixed capital plays a very significant role at the time of promoting the business as well as expanding the business operations or the activities in the business. If you want to promote the business, you require to expend different expenditures like uh, issue of shares, purchase the fixed assets like land, buildings, machinery, technology, computers, vehicles, and so on. Based on the nature of the business, we require to incur or expend uh, capital. So, at the time of promoting the business, the capital, fixed capital plays a very significant role. Not only at the time of promotion, also at the time of exploring or expanding business activities or operation, the fixed capital can play a very significant role in the business. These are the features of the fixed capital. In another hand, there is another type of fixed capital, that is working capital. So working capital is also the part of the total capital in the business. So without this working capital, no business can work or survive in the market for a long period, because it is one of the floating blood of the business. How the human body or the human beings cannot survive without floating blood in their bodies. Similarly, without working capital in the business, no business can survive. And this capital is used to satisfy the day-to-day activities. The day-to-day activities or the activities related to less than 1 year. Example, purchase of raw material, purchase of spare parts, payments in terms of salary, in terms of wages, in terms of interest to the debenture holders of the financial institutions, dividends payments to the shareholders like preference shareholders or any other creditors. So all these are the expenditures to be incurred by the business within the 1 year or in less than 1 year. To satisfy all these expenditures, we require some capital that is known as working capital, which is the part of the capital of a business. So now coming, let us see what are the different features of working capital. So working capital has the different features, that is short span life. Here fixed capital has long lifespan. Long lifespan. Here the working capital is short lifespan. It means that working capital will be converting into in another form within the short period. Let us take an example. If you have in your hand, you cannot hold your cash in your hand for a long period. It can be converting into the raw materials. Once the raw material purchased to the business cannot be held in the godown for a long period. Raw material converting into work in progress, and work in progress immediately to the finished goods. And once you have complete the production process, got the finished good, then the finished good will be sold in the market within short period. And this selling process will generate some revenue, and this revenue called cash, and cash again used to purchase the raw material. It is a cyclical process in every business, and here the amount which we are using at every stage is called as working capital, which we are converting from one form to another form. So therefore the working capital is having the short lifespan. The second one is smooth flow of business operations. To conduct the business operations smoothly, we required working capital, which is also very important. That is in terms of payment of wages to the laborers, payment in terms of salaries to the employees, payments in terms of cash to the suppliers at the time of purchasing raw material, or any expenditures which we are need to be incurred. So these expenditures incurred by using the working capital only. If we are not satisfying these expenditures, not paying salaries, wages and other expenditures, we cannot run the business smoothly. Hence business will be shut down. So therefore to conduct the business activities smoothly or operations smoothly, the working capital can play a very significant role. And liquidity. Here in case of fixed capital, there is a low liquidity. Here it is high liquidity. It means that the working capital converting into in another form within short period. There is a high liquidity in case of working capital. Then amount of working capital. So based on the size and nature of expenditure or activity or operation that we are conducting in the business within the 1 year, the amount of working capital may vary. So this is also based on the nature and size of the activities or expenditure to be incurred in the business within 1 year. Then the next one is utilized for payment of current expenses. So basically the working capital is used for payment of current expenditures. Current expenditures means the expenditures to be incurred or the payments to be conduct the payments within the 1 year. So all these payments to be paid within the 1 year, and these payments are paying by using the working capital only. So utilize this working capital is utilized for payment of current expenditures, the salaries, wages, interest, dividends, payments to the suppliers at the time of purchasing raw material, and stationery in terms of pencils, erasers. So whatever the stationery is required for the business, and other spare parts which are used to run the technology or machinery smoothly. So all these are expenditure comes under the current expenditure. To satisfy all these current expenditure, we require some capital. That capital is called as working capital, which is the part of total capital of the business. So they are the different features of working capital. So now we have seen types of capital, what is fixed capital, what is working capital, what are the different features of fixed capital, and the different features of working capital. Now let us see what are the different types of fixed assets that are procured by using the fixed capital. Types of fixed assets. There are three types of fixed assets available in every business generally, such as tangible fixed assets, intangible fixed assets, financial fixed assets. So they are the three types of fixed assets available in a business. So as I said, fixed asset is the assets which will give the service to the company for a long period. The different types of assets are tangible, intangible, and financial fixed assets. Let us see one by one. The first one is tangible fixed assets. Tangible fixed assets means, or tangible fixed asset means, the asset which we can see and touch. Tangible. What do you mean by tangible? Which we can see and touch. Asset means the asset which will be utilized by the business in the market. So fixed asset means the asset which will give the service to the company for a long period. Now tangible fixed assets means the fixed assets which will give the service to the company for a long period and which we can see and touch is known as tangible fixed assets. Example: land, machinery, technology, plant, and so on. So they are the different types of tangible fixed assets. And whereas the second one is intangible fixed assets. Intangible means which we cannot see and touch. The assets which we cannot see and touch in the business and will give the service to the company for a long period is comes under intangible fixed assets. Examples for these intangible fixed assets are goodwill, copyrights, trademarks, secrets, business secrets, and so on. These are the assets comes under intangible fixed assets which we cannot see. Goodwill, trademarks, copyrights, secrets of the business, and all other intellectual property rights, IPRs. All the IPRs comes under intangible fixed assets. And the third one is financial fixed asset. So financial fixed asset is also one of the one form of intangible fixed asset. We can see only in terms of paper or bond or instrument as instrument. That asset is known as a financial fixed assets. The examples for these financial assets are bonds, shares, and other documents which will increase the value of the asset is known as financial fixed assets. So when the company is in a position to issue the bonds to the debenture holders, shares to the preference shareholders or equity shareholders, and sometimes the companies also may invest capital in another company in shares or the bonds. So that is also comes under the financial fixed assets of the business. So they are the three types of fixed assets generally available in any company: tangible fixed assets, intangible fixed assets, and financial fixed assets. Okay. Now let us see various methods of raising finance. Until now we have seen or discussed what is capital, features of capital, significance of capital, types of fixed capital, and its features. Now we will discuss what are the various methods of raising finance. So method of finance, basically method of finance is the type of finance used such as loan or mortgage. The source of finance would be where the money was obtained from a loan, may be obtained from a bank, while a mortgage may be obtained from the credit society. Such sources is known as a method of finance. It is necessary to notice the difference between methods and sources of finance to identify which type of asset can be brought from what source of funds. Yes, it is very important for the business that to identify or differentiate which method is used or which source of finance is used to obtain the funds in order to run the business in the market. For example, fixed asset can be bought only from the long-term sources of funds. If there is no long-term sources of funds, we cannot able to purchase the fixed assets, as the fixed assets require lot of funds or the huge funds. If you buy the long-term assets utilizing the funds from the short-term sources, the asset has to be sold off or to repay the short-term loans within short period. For this purpose, we need to sell the asset in the market. Means you need to purchase the fixed rates only by using the long-term source of finance. Therefore, there may be a flexibility to repay the loans in the future by using the fixed asset, that is purchasing by using the long-term loans. So there are different methods of raising finance. They are the common methods of raising finance, that is long-term finance, medium-term finance, and short-term finance. They are the methods. And the methods and the sources of finance is different from one to another. Method of raising finance is the method in which the source of finance or finance is obtained from the market, and source is the capital from where we are procuring or pulling in order to invest in the business. So they are the three methods of raising finance: long-term finance, medium-term finance, and short-term finance. These methods are classifying based on the time periods that is required to repay the loans or the mortgages. For example, first one is long term finance. Long term finance method is said when it requires to repay 5 or more years. And medium term finance 1 to 3 or 5 years, whereas the short term finance less than 1 year. Based on the time period, based on the time period, the methods of pricing finance classified into long term finance, medium term finance, and short term finance. So they are the basis to classify the methods of pricing finance into the long term, medium term, and short term. Now let us see, now we will discuss each of these methods, identifying the sources under each method. What are the different sources available in the long term finance? What are the different sources available in medium term finance and the short term finance? Clearly,